All right. Well, thanks for taking the time. Can you just start off by introducing yourself and telling us and everyone what you do?
Sure. My name is Michael Nadata. I'm an ABC certified prosthetist orthotist. I'm the owner of NYRehab Prosthetics since 2004. Um, and I make prosthetics for a living, design them, fit
And,
them, and love what I do.
yeah, and you primarily do BK sockets, right? I was amazed by the volume you put through, which seems to be much higher than most people.
Yeah, we do a lot of BKs and a lot of AKs, as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
but a lot of extremity prosthetics.
So take me through where you were in your business with design and fabrication before you started getting into using something like Fusion 360 or Agnostic CAD. Like some of the journey you went through, 2014 and forward must have been, you guys were at the forefront at the time.
Basically, we started using a lot of the OMP specific programs and really trying to find our footing in terms of, what are we doing? Because when you think about it, there's really three separate components to going digital. One is the shape capture, one is the design, once you have that form on the screen, and the last is how you're going to manufacture that.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, when somebody goes digital, you're kind of like, where do you start? Where do you finish? Where does one begin? Where does one end? And I mean, it took a long time. It took years until we sort of like separated them and realized, this is how we're going to do shape capture. This is how we're going to design. And this is how we're going to fabricate and in what fashion.
Yeah.
Um, so it's really a conglomeration of a lot of different things. Um, we started out with, like I said, the basic OP programs.
What were some of the shortfalls of those programs? Like, why didn't you stick with O&P specific software?
Because they're designed to carve. They're designed to use on a CNC carver, which we employ, but we learned that that's really part of what you need in the arsenal. It's not it's not everything, and
Hmm.
um, and really these the programs allow you to get your basic shapes. It allows you to get um, you know I guess the precision you need, but once you're really starting to fine tune it, that's when you really need to go the next level to these engineering softwares like the Fusion 360 and the ZBrush.
Yeah. And you get much more feature rich opportunities to explore when you use traditional CAD, right? Because some phase mode
Absolutely.
printing or Medico, it just provides the simple turntable sort of methodology, and that's it, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, everything has its place, but I guess the beauty of the system is that, you have your palette, you're like an artist, and you really need, everything in front of you and when to use it. And, Medico has its purpose, and then Fusion has its purpose. But sort of when you're not using one with the other, you're limiting yourself into,
Yeah.
what you create and what you can control.
So would you say that the space in between softwares is more powerful than any one software and learning one software?
Um, would I say that what does that mean?
Like the spaces in between software, like Frankenflow's working between softwares, and that as an art is more powerful than just becoming a power user in one program.
Yes, no, you can't, you can't be an island. You need to know everything. At this stage, there is not one software that can do everything. And if you want to be able to accomplish everything, you need to be literate in everything that's out there. 100% the break and flow is the way to do it right now.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Nice. Well, you and I have been working together since about last summer. I remember we sort of
Oh,
touched base, and so you know, take me through your experience of working with me and what has changed before and after. Like, what have you taken away as a business owner now that you have sidewinders in the back and you've got a powerful computer and a ZBrush tablet. Like you drank the Kool Aid, so to speak. So a year in, how has this affected the value you can offer your clients? How does it affect your bottom line, your ease of plaster, and maybe less plaster?
yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's been a ride. There's no question. I would say the first, thing that you really brought to us, and I'll always, be grateful, is you really helped us with the shape capture.
Mhm.
You helped steer us in the right direction. We were using all sorts of different scanners and measuring devices and so on, and you really helped us pinpoint and help figure out what is an accurate, device that we can use and have that repeatability. Because, it always bothered me. You can't have the cam without the CAD, and
Yep.
you can't have CAD without a shape capture. So if everything you have is built on a lie, you got nothing. So really, if you think about it, so trusting your shape capture is really step one, and you really helped us get there because up until then, we had to remeasure, we had to double check, and so on, and you kind of got us over that hurdle. You really helped us. We don't talk about it enough. It's Art, but it's true.
Yeah.
Um, Past that, and once we kind of got past that, and once we didn't have to second guess our shape, we were able to really be open to so much more, so much faster than we were before. So right off the bat we had that. Then we really got into these inner sockets and how we offset our inner sockets to our outer sockets, printing in TPU. Um, we've gotten so to the point now that we're retrofitting inner sockets into existing devices, and it's I always question, just because you are going digital, why are you going digital? And when I would tell my patients, oh, this is 3D printed or this is this, at the end of the day, what is the benefit to them? And I can truly say, we get to the point where precision is the benefit.
Nice.
That we know that when we follow these certain steps, this device is going to fit well or
Hmm.
very close to well.
Yeah.
And that's really where we've come. Not so much that we're going always to check sockets, and then we have to readdress that, and we're so far away. Well, for our check sockets, we're here. Now we're here, and it's just it gets them up quicker. We can quantify things better. If they change, it's not like starting from scratch. We have all the data. We know where we're at, and I think at the end of the day, it's the patient fit, which is really won out.
Nice. Well, that's so true too, and not many people realize that because like the digital tool set has the potential to really be precise and to offer that next level of fit. And the idea of having an inaccurate scanner or an okay scan and being good enough to work with OMP really sort of, yes, it's within tolerance to what you're used to, but it's not leveraging the full potential of what digital can really offer, which is that accuracy and resolution that the traditional methods just don't have. So I'm glad that that is one of the better values that you saw. Um, how would you describe some of the coursework and some of the stuff from ONP Digital Designer that you did take? Your experience with ZBrush, your experience with the tablet. You can be honest with me. I know it's not the easiest thing to learn, but like, how has some of the tool sets and how has the training been for you personally?
So I'm an old dog. So I didn't grow up with an iPhone in my mouth. Like, uh, you know,
Oh, you got
bless
me there. You got me
you.
there.
So obviously for me, the transition isn't always the smoothest. I'll be honest, it can get frustrating sometimes. But as long as there's that will and that desire, and you see the fruits of what can come, so you push on, and you get what needs to be gotten. So yeah, they're very thorough. Your courses are very, very thorough, and it really runs the gamut. And look, we're doing what we need to do because of them. So the proof's in the pudding.
Fantastic. Do you have any advice for anyone looking to get into digital design literacy and digital design, and like any advice for what the benefits or where to start and how to go about it?
So the first thing is call Art, okay, or email or contact him somehow. Um, and don't be afraid. I think you even said on your, when I saw your commercial, it's the upfront is not that, crazy to get into it. When I got into it, the upfront was very high.
Yeah, it really was.
Um, but now, you can just try something. You could dabble in something. It doesn't mean you have to be on the highest, level. You can download the scanning apps to your phone. You can play with that. There's no reason not to try. If you find it's not your cup of tea, you can walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what happens is, more often than not, I think that once you start and you get that flavor and you realize It's not that you're throwing away everything you learned in school. You're throwing away the plaster. You're throwing away the artisanry. It's that your tools have gotten so much more precise and so much more expansive. And again, if you don't throw away that knowledge you have, you just incorporated it to such a level that you couldn't quantify what you were doing before, and now you would see that what you were doing traditionally, you can really put figures and numbers and offsets to
Yeah.
what you were just guessing at or guesstimating before.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for taking the opportunity to talk to me about it.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Nice. All
All
right. Well, that is a wrap. That is a wrap. Thank you.
right.